I caught my husband cheating second time with the same woman I forgave him for 5 years earlier, so I exposed him in front of 200 wedding guests. 5 years ago, I thought my marriage was over before it really began. We were living in a tiny apartment in Brooklyn. I was trying to get my freelance graphic design business off the ground, and my husband was working long hours at a mid-level accounting firm. One Sunday morning, he left his tablet on the kitchen island while he showered. A notification popped up from a woman named Jenna. It was just a photo, but it was a photo of her wearing his favorite vintage band t-shirt. My heart dropped straight into my stomach. When I confronted him, he broke down. He claimed she was just an old friend from college, that she was going through a rough patch, and it was a momentary lapse in judgment. He swore they hadn't crossed any physical lines. He begged me to stay. We spent a grueling 14 months in couples therapy. I did the work. I read the books. I actively chose to forgive him because I believed he was truly sorry. Things got better, or so I thought. Then he announced that his firm was relocating him to Atlanta, Georgia. It was a massive promotion, a real fast track to partner, but it meant I had to leave behind my friends, my entire network, and the city I loved. To ease the transition, his mother, Eleanor, offered us her sprawling, gorgeous Victorian home in a historic neighborhood for a fraction of what it would cost to rent. She was planning to move into a smaller condo nearby anyway. Eleanor is a true Southern steel magnolia, impeccably dressed, fiercely intelligent, and she sees right through everyone's bullshit. To my surprise, we became incredibly close. We'd spend hours on the veranda, drinking sweet tea and talking about everything under the sun. While my husband was always stuck at the office working late, Eleanor was the one who actually asked about my day. Last Friday, the entire illusion shattered. My husband had left his work laptop open on his desk. I went to close it, and a calendar alert pinged. It wasn't a meeting. It was a reminder for a dinner reservation for two at the most expensive steakhouse in Atlanta. Attached to the event was an email thread. It was Jenna, the same woman from Brooklyn. I stood there, reading through months of correspondence, and my blood ran ice cold. She hadn't just visited. She had transferred to his firm's Atlanta branch. They had been planning this the entire time we were in therapy. He didn't move us to Atlanta for his career. He moved us so he could be with her, on my dime, while I played the dutiful, supportive wife. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. The betrayal was so absolute, it bypassed anger and went straight to a terrifying, hollow calmness. I packed 2 suitcases, left his wedding ring on the keyboard, and waited for him to get home. When he walked in at 10 o'clock smelling like expensive bourbon, he saw the suitcases. He immediately tried to gaslight me. He said I was being paranoid, that I was violating his privacy, and that if I walked out, I'd get nothing. He puffed out his chest, pointed a finger at me, and snarled, "You are living in my family's house. You don't have a leg to stand on here. If you want to throw a tantrum, get out." "She's not going anywhere," a voice snapped from the hallway. Eleanor stepped out of the shadows. She had come over to drop off some gardening tools and had been standing there, listening to the entire exchange. My husband completely froze. He stumbled over his words, trying to backtrack. "Mom, please. She's twisting things. This is between us." "Shut your mouth," Eleanor commanded, her voice dropping an octave. She walked right up to him, her eyes blazing with an intensity I had never seen before. "You brought a homewrecker into this city. You lied to the woman you vowed to protect, and now you have the audacity to threaten her in a home that belongs to me?" She didn't raise her hand. She didn't have to. The sheer force of her contempt was enough to make him shrink back. "I am changing the locks on this house tomorrow morning," Eleanor stated, her voice like cracking ice. "The deed is being transferred to my daughter-in-law. You have until midnight to get every single piece of your garbage out of here. And if you ever try to contact her again, I will personally make sure the managing partner at your firm knows exactly what kind of man you are. My ex-husband is currently living in a cheap extended stay motel, and I am officially a homeowner in one of the nicest neighborhoods in Atlanta, with the most formidable mother-in-law a girl could ask for."